All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business today. Going to take a look at its, high intent Google searches that boudoir buyers are searching. See if it has BSS and see if we're meeting the GBC recommended minimum of hitting 3 out of 10 page one Google slots. So we're out here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that pin video, pin post, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our, on the left side, well, we got our graph here, our FSIC graph in white. On the left side, we got our highest intent peeps. They're looking for boudoir photographers right now, or boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. Highest intent peeps, highest converting, closest to the money. These are the people we focus on reaching here when we make videos about BSS. Way over on the right, the lowest intent peeps, people not searching for boudoir right now. Most of them don't even have any idea what the heck boudoir even is. So talk about some stuff related to reaching those people on our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. So we talk about BLCS, and currently over there, we're only working with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. So boudoir search sameness, that is BSS. So a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. So 0 slots, extra bad, because that means we're on page 2 or deeper of Google. And we already know that approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So we're invisible to approximately 80% of searches, approximately 80% of the market if we're page 2 or deeper. So, our business is on a fast track to death in that case. And 1 slot on page good, that ain't good either. Because if we got 1 slot, well, there's 10 organic slots there. If we got 1 slot, that means there's 10 other businesses or 9 other businesses there with photographers. And everyone most likely has 1 link. And so as a result, we look the same as everyone else. We don't stand out. We're not looking amazing. Our 1 slot same as everyone else. So what's a buyer going to do? Well, approximately 80% of the buyers, they're just going to click down, open every link page 1, never even go to page 2, but open every link page 1 and actually fill out every contact form, get a quote from everyone, compare, price shop, negotiate, get the most for the least, waste time, and there's going to be like 10% or less of our contact form fill outs are actually going to result in buyers. Now, 0-1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation, which nearly everyone knows about, and also this new one, the false belief of page 1 equality. So yeah, market saturation, more peeps, become boudoir photographers. Seems like every week, it's kind of people naturally upgrade their gear, get new iPhones, get new camera gear. And peeps, throw up their Google My Business profile saying they're boudoir photographer now. They have their website saying they do boudoir photography. They post in the mom groups on Facebook more, saying that for boudoir photo shoots. So market saturation, then the false belief of page 1 equality. This has kind of been something boudoir photographers have accepted, where it's kind of like people auto believe that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google, when it's not. That's not true at all. What is actually true is Google will give us as many page 1 slots as normal, or as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire. So kind of the old school thinking, default original thinking, boudoir photographers like, they got their website ranked, page 1 slot 8. So market saturation more, boudoir photographers come in, their website ranks above theirs. And as a result, they're pushed down to slot 2, page 2, slot 1. So they're sitting there like, man, I hope those people delete their websites and Google de-indexes them so Google can bring me back up on a page 1. But no, dude, that's sit and wait approach, and that's not how Google wants us. That's not how Google will reward us. Google will reward us by actually taking as many slots as we want. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days with this new methodology we discovered. Next, a boudoir photographer with BSS boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. So, disappearing because if you got 0 slots page 1, you're page 2 or deeper, invisible to approximately 80% of the market. Yeah, you're disappearing. If you're got only one slot page one Google, you look same as everyone else, you're still essentially invisible. So yeah, you're disappearing. In both these cases, being a bit disappearing boudoir photographer means it's kind of like a warning light, a flashing light, the canary in the coal mine that actually our boudoir photography business is now on the path to disappearing as well. But thankfully, we now have a solution. We have discovered that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka our S cubed methodology. And the way it works, show you in the name, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city, making sure we show up there. And this is like the snow at the top of a mountain. Think of the Andes Mountains down in South America, the snow up there on the eastern side, the backside of those mountains. What actually happens is that, the snow is always melting. It's always snowing there and melting. So the water flows into small streams, small rivers, and eventually all that water collects into the Amazon River. That Amazon River, that's page one Google search. And that means everything starts, everything begins with, getting the snow up to the top of the mountain, and then everything melts from there. And so getting that snow up there, that's SQ methodology to get that snow all the way up there. And this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can actually enable them to compete and still grow in a market that's getting more and more saturated over time, and do it in a relatively quick time frame. On the other hand, the other option is having a large, well-known brand. But dude, that takes 5 to 10 years. We ain't got that time anymore. AI is taking people's jobs already. We don't have the time to wait 5 to 10 years to build a massive, large brand. But interestingly enough, my estimates actually, if one is using SQ methodology, my estimate is it can actually build a large, well-known brand at approximately 8x the speed as normal traditional methods, simply because we're on so many different surfaces, so much more volume, much higher frequency. And so an example here of SQ methodology, we are now going to go to Raleigh, North Carolina. All right, so let's say we got 1 million boudoir photographers in Raleigh, North Carolina. We're one of them. Everyone's got their website saying they boudoir photographer, shoot boudoir photography, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's competing for the hyper-competitive page one slots on Google with their website. And we're like, man, we ain't got a large, well-known brand. Literally, the only chance we got to compete is implementing S-cube methodology. So, let's say we take it all the way to the max, where we're, we take literally like the first 300 slots for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city across all social search. And then let's say that all flows to Google page one search, and we're taking first 300 slots Google search as well. And it's 10 organic slots per page one on Google. So, we're taking out the first 30 pages. So whenever a boudoir buyer looks for a boudoir photographer in our city, a boudoir photo shoot, whatever, they actually, we're basically the only one they can find. So if we're basically the only one people can find, obviously our business is probably going to be the only one growing, and then the competing 999,999 other boudoir photographers, their business will probably be shrinking. And so this is kind of the extreme case of what SQ methodology can actually enable or give a chance to a boudoir photography business to achieve. Now, once you're with SQ methodology, we now have page one visibility. So yeah, we're getting more slots page one Google search. We're also, for each new slot we're kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page one, effectively making them visible. A lot of boudoir photographers like this one because they can actually choose how many of their competitors to kick off, basically based on their own effort. Put them on page two or deeper, and we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page two. So put their competitor businesses on the path to becoming disappearing competitor boudoir photography businesses. And page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. This is where the GBC universe recommends hitting a minimum or having a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one Google search. It's because everyone else is probably going to have one. So, okay, our 3 is always going to dominate. Everyone else has got one link each. And our, the super rare chance someone has 2 slots, well, our 3 slots dominates them as well. Finally, Boudoir photographer with BSV. Boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer. So we got our, our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. That's fine. Thankfully, we now have a solution, S-cubed methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility. We become visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, on to my results here. I wanted to rank and dominate for this keyword BLCS boudoir. So I use S-cubed methodology to do it. Let's see the results. So organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. And so I'm from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search in only 10 days, purely utilizing S-cubed methodology. Now onto the main event here. Going to see this boudoir photography business, see how the search is looking for the local and city search. Actually, they're both in this case. So if we got BSS, yes or no. So if we're in the GBC recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google, or let's hit it, Bellingham, Washington. All right, so let's see what we got. Let's see. All right, so we do got one. Boom, we got one. All right, we got one. So we got 1 out of 10. And city's always the hardest one to rank for. So we got 1 out of 10, that's good. But we got BSS, we got boudoir search sameness. We also got, we're not hitting the GBC recommended amount, 3 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google. All right, so if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've done your local search or city search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, and you're saying you got either 0 or 1 slots there, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google, and you've accepted that page 1 equality is a false belief. The false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. You're seeing that Google actually give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And you're actually seeing that S-cubed methodology is the only way forward, the only solution for you that can fix this. And you've been waiting for something like this because, the ads, Google PPC, give you a best 1 extra slot, but momentum dies once you stop spending. These do have some momentum that does continue, not infinitely, but these do have momentum. And you like the initial benefits, more slots page 1 on Google. You really like the second initial benefit, kicking your competitors off page 1 on Google, relegating them to page 2, and effectively rendering them invisible to approximately 80% of boudoir buyers that are using Google search. And you understand the market saturation. Yeah, more peeps get new gear, more boudoir photographers enter the market, got it. But you're also looking ahead and seeing, man, AI is taking people's jobs right now. AI is going to be taking more and more people's jobs right now. Last time that happened, COVID, big influx of boudoir photographers happened as a result of that in COVID. So you're realizing, oh man, actually a much bigger wave than before has come to boudoir photography, way more boudoir photographers. And you have decided that, man, you actually need to fortify your position on page 1. You literally need to have so many links, backups to the backup links on Google that they can't rank all your links on page 1, and they stay on page 2, 3, 4, because Google wants to put them on page 1, but now there's no more room. And you basically need to fortify your page 1 position to essentially guarantee no current competitors rank on page 1, and certainly no new competitors that come in from AI taking their jobs can rank on page 1. So you're seeing all that, and fortifying, kind of like fortifying the levees down in Nolens, Louisiana, because the city is below sea level. And you're saying S-cubed methodology is also the only solution for boudoir photographers that can do that. And you want to achieve page 1 visibility to become a visible boudoir photographer and achieve boudoir search visibility, because You understand you need to acquire these things, do all these things on your path to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. You also like the future benefits of utilizing S-Cube methodology now, which we've not talked about yet, but every day we successfully execute S-Cube methodology, we are essentially creating these invisible thematic keyword columns that, plug into our brand, our name, our website, associated with it, kind of out there in cyberspace, digital space, that actually means backend AI mindshare. We increase our backend AI mindshare for all these terms based on frequency, repetition, authority, age, relevance. And every single day we do this, it increases the probability we actually will get recommended for AI overview. So we're kind of building these thematic keyword clusters, invisible thematic keyword columns all around associated with our brand, our handles, everything about us. And AI can parse this. So we're increasing the probability of this, we're increasing the probability we also show up AI search, standard AI search, which is, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Gemini, Microsoft Copilot. Increase the probability we are showing up in all these searches as when people use their AI search. And yeah, Google's approximately 90% of global search, but dude, AI search is increasing every single day. And when I last did an AI search searching for boudoir photographers, I searched the city. ChatGPT gave me only 3. So I actually went and looked manually for basically on Google and on Facebook how many there are out there, and there's like 60. So it's like, man, we need every possible way to get recommended AI search if there's only 3 slots, and your CNS-key methodology is the only solution that can give you the best, that can allow you to do that. And you understand that my current plan is to work with only 1 boudoir photographer per city. So what you've realized is you decide to become the first mover in your city, get that first mover advantage, kick out all your other boudoir photographer competitors, prevent them from using this strategy. You get all the benefits, more slots page 1, more people kicked off page 1 to page 2, effectively making them visible to approximately 80% of the market. Higher chance of fortifying your position on page 1, so nobody can ever rank on page 1 besides you. Higher chance recommended AI search, higher chance recommended standard, or recommended AI overview and recommended standard AI search. Approximately 8x faster in building a large, well-known brand because we'll be seen across so many different surfaces. And building up a massive gap, kind of AI back-end AI mindshare momentum gap between your competitors in your city with all of these, invisible thematic keyword columns attached to your brand. And you understand the converse. If another boudoir photographer hopped on this, decided to go with me first, they would get all those benefits. You would actually be forced off page 2, and potentially you'd be forced off page 1, potentially also forced off page 2, and page 3 and deeper. Man, there definitely basically no one going that deep. And you'd be losing that AI mindshare. Your competitor would be recommended again, above and against you instead of you. You would be losing those slots, losing all that mindshare in the marketplace. And more boudoir photographers are entering every day, so you'd actually be worse and worse for you every single day. And this means your competitor would be growing our gap between you every single day. You'd have to actually go rederive, or actually drive for the first time, S-Cube methodology for yourself. And then you would have to go execute it, equal amount of execution as us every single day. And then once that happens, you're simply maintaining the gap that me and your competitor would have already built up against relative to you. So you're just maintaining the gap. So you'd have to actually outwork us 2 or 3x every single day to actually start to get some of your links on page 1 and go pull that back end AI mindshare back towards your brand for all these invisible thematic keyword columns. But during all this, you're still not even 100% confident you've derived S-Cube methodology correctly in the first place. So probably wouldn't be putting in 2 to 3x our effort into it, doing it yourself. And the second thing is, who's got 80 hours per day to do all this? So you're hearing all that, you're like, screw that. I'm definitely being the first mover and adopter in my city, blocking out everyone else from using this. And as a result, we are, so if that's you, shoot me a DM. My DMs are currently closed because the hospital is currently closed to new patient intake. And then when we do open the hospital for new patient intake, shoot us a DM then, and we will see if you qualify to utilize our S-Cubes methodology.